Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're in the Epic Handbook today from 3rd edition D&D, and we're continuing the Feats part of the Epic Heroes playlist, where we've been just going over the feats for the Epic adventures. We are going to start with we're going to go over the following feats in this order, and we'll go in and read in greater detail the descriptions in the chapter. But we're only going over 15 feats. Where we last left off, we need to start with Epic Spell Focus. We'll be going over Epic Spell Penetration, Epic Spell Casting, Epic Toughness, Epic Weapon Focus, Epic Weapon Specialization, Epic Will, Exceptional Deflection, Extended Lifespan, which is very important if you're the shorter lived races like the humans. Familiar Spell, Fast Healing, Forge Epic Ring, Gargantuan Wild Shape, Colossal Wild Shape, and Great Charisma would be the last one on the list for this video. And then the next time I do a video in this playlist, which if everything goes as planned will be next week, we will start with Great Constitution and go from there. But all the great abilities do the same thing. So once we go over that one, you will know what the others are going to do. So we need to start with Epic Spell Focus. So, Epic Spell Focus. Choose a school of magic, such as illusion. Your spells of that school are far more potent than normal. Prerequisites: you need to have greater spell focus and spell focus in the school selected. You have to have the ability to cast at least one 9th level spell of that school to be chosen. Benefit: add +6 to the difficulty class for all saving throws against the spells from the school of magic you selected to focus on. This overlaps and does not stack with the bonuses from Spell Focus and Greater Spell Focus. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies to a different school of magic. This feat is presented in the non-epic feat section at the end of this chapter. And the feat that they're talking about is Greater Spell Focus, which I believe is already available in Pathfinder, so take that as you will when messing with this stuff and trying to use it in a Pathfinder epic game. Epic Spell Penetration. Your spells are tremendously potent, breaking through spell resistance with ease. Prerequisite: Greater Spell Penetration, which is in the back of this epic feats, and Spell Penetration. Benefit: you get a +6 bonus on caster level checks to beat a creature's spell resistance. This overlaps and does not stack with the bonus from Spell Penetration and Greater Spell Penetration. The next feat is Epic Spell Casting. You can create and cast spells that transcend the most powerful existing spells. Prerequisite: you must have a spellcraft of 24 ranks. If you were playing Pathfinder and going into this, you would need to have a spellcraft of 21 ranks. Knowledge Arcana, 24 ranks. So, same thing of 21 ranks if you're playing Pathfinder. An ability to cast 9th level arcane spells. Now, this is also available for your divine spellcasters. They need to have Knowledge Religion and the spellcraft and ability to cast 9th level spells of that type. Now, if you're a druid, instead of religion, you have knowledge nature. So take that as the prerequisites for the different spellcasting classes. Benefit: you may develop and cast epic spells as detailed in Chapter 2, Epic Spells. If you are an arcane spellcaster, you may cast a number of epic spells per day equal to your ranks in Knowledge Arcana divided by 10. If you are a divine spellcaster, you may cast the epic spells equal to your ranks in Knowledge Religion divided by 10. And the same thing if you were a druid, it'd be your knowledge nature divided by 10. Special, if you meet more than one set of prerequisites, the limit on the number of spells you may cast per day is cumulative. For example, if you're a wizard cleric, you may cast a number of arcane epic spells per day equal to your number of ranks in knowledge arcana divided by 10, and a number of divine epic spells per day equal to your number of ranks in knowledge religion divided by 10. So if you were those two classes and able to cast 9th level spells in both, then you would get those epic spells when you take this feat. You do not need to take this feat more than once. Epic toughness. You are preternaturally tough. Benefit, you gain plus 20 hit points. A character can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects stack. And that's similar to the original 3rd edition toughness. The 3rd edition toughness just gave you either a plus 3 or plus 4 hit points. I don't remember off the top of my head the accurate number, but every time you took it, it just gave you that many hit points. Where the Pathfinder version, you take it, you get a plus 3, but once you're 4th level and higher, it just adds 1 to your hit points you gain every time you level. Which is better than the 3rd edition one, but you can only take that one once in Pathfinder. Epic weapon focus. Choose one type of weapon, such as a great axe. You are especially good at using this weapon. Prerequisite, weapon focus in the weapon to be chosen. Add a plus 2 bonus on all attack rolls you make using the selected weapon. Special, you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take this feat, it applies to a different type of weapon. Epic weapon specialization. So let's step back to epic weapon focus. So you add plus 2 to all attack rolls you make with the weapon from this feat. This feat would stack with all the other weapon focus feats. So in Pathfinder, I know there's more than 2 weapon focus feats, so all those feats would stack together with this epic weapon focus feat giving you another plus 2. Epic weapon specialization. Choose one type of weapon, such as a great axe. You deal extraordinary damage wielding this weapon. Prerequisites. Epic weapon focus. Weapon focus. Weapon specialization. All of these feats have to be in the weapon you are choosing for the epic weapon specialization. Benefit. Add a plus 4 to all damage you deal using the selected weapon. If the weapon is a ranged weapon, the damage bonus only applies if the target is within 30 feet. Special, you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take this feat, it applies to a different type of weapon. Epic will. You have tremendously strong willpower. Benefit, you gain a plus 4 on all will saving throws. Exceptional deflection. You can deflect any type of ranged attack. Prerequisites, Dex of 21, Wisdom of 19, deflect arrows, improved unarmed strike. Benefit, you can deflect any ranged attack, including spells that require ranged touch attacks, as if they were arrows. If deflecting a spell, add the spell's level to the DC to deflect the attack. So you go from being able to deflect arrows before the feat to being able to deflect somebody's spells back at them. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we are now on extend lifespan. You are exceptionally long-lived. Add 1/2 of the maximum results of your race's maximum age modifier to your normal, middle age, old, and venerable age categories. For example, a human who took this feat would reach middle age at 58 years rather than 38 years, old age at 73 years instead of 53 years, and venerable age at 90 years instead of 70 years. Calculate the character's maximum age using the new venerable numbers. This feat can't lower your current age category. For instance, if you're already middle-aged, but the feat pushes you to middle-aged category, to above your current age, you don't revert to adulthood. You can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects stack. So if you're playing a really long campaign where multiple years are passing in downtime, that feat could keep your character alive for a hell of a lot longer, and you can use that character a lot longer in the game instead of passing away of natural causes. Familiar spell. Your familiar can use one of your spells as a spell-like ability. Prerequisites: Intelligence 25 if your spellcasting is controlled by intelligence, or Charisma of 25 if your spellcasting is controlled by charisma. So if you have a familiar, whatever your spellcasting ability modifier is for your spells is what you need to have a 25 in. Benefit: choose one spell you know of 8th level or lower, such as Chain Lightning or Circle of Death. Your familiar can now use this spell once per day as a spell-like ability at a caster level equal to your caster level. You cannot bestow a spell to your familiar if the spell normally has a material component cost of more than 1 gold piece or an XP cost. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Each time you take this feat, you can give your familiar a different spell-like ability, or another daily use of the same spell-like ability. So that's pretty cool. You just gotta be very careful on what spell you're giving it, since it has that limit of XP or gold piece cost. Fast healing. You heal your wounds very quickly. The prerequisites is a constitution of 25. Benefit: you gain fast healing 3, or your existing fast healing increases by 3. This feat does not stack with fast healing granted by magical items, or a non-permanent magical effect. Special: this feat may be taken multiple times. Its effects stack. So this is a good feat for all your fighters and barbarians and whatnot. Anything that's going to be taking lots of melee damage should take fast healing, and then your spellcasters, if they ever get a constitution of 25 or higher, should definitely take it so they can heal faster too. Fine Wild Shape. Let's see, I think I already went over Fine Wild Shape, but let me look back at the table to make sure. Yeah, Fine Wild Shape's not on the ones I read out. So from Fast Healing, we go to Forge Epic Ring, and then the Gargantuan and the Colossal Wild Shapes. Forge Epic Ring. It's an item creation feat. You can craft magic rings of epic power. Prerequisites: the Forge Ring feat, Knowledge Arcana 35 ranks, Spellcraft 35 ranks. If you're using Pathfinder into this, reduce the ranks by 3, and that would be accurate level-wise to the same level you would have been in 3rd edition to be able to take this. Benefit: you can forge magical rings that exceed the normal limits for such items, as stated in a book and in the Dungeon Master's Guide. For instance, you could craft a ring of protection that granted a deflection bonus of greater than +5, or an item that required a prerequisite spell of higher than 9th level. See Chapter 4, Epic Magic Items, for examples of epic rings. And that list is nice. I will be doing videos in the future on the epic magical items and stuff. I'll probably break them down into the different categories, so weapons and armor be one. Might even break that into different ones, weapons than armor. Rings, potions, anything that it lists as a category, I'd break it down into its own video. So look forward to that in the future. Next is Gargantuan Wild Shape. You can wild shape into animals of gargantuan size. Prerequisite: the ability to wild shape into huge animals. Benefit: you can use your wild shape to take the shape of a gargantuan animal. Normal: without this feat, you cannot wild shape into an animal greater than huge size. It's been a minute since I've looked at the druid from Pathfinder, But if you end up with any of these abilities before they're even considered epic in 3rd edition, I would say that prerequisite's already met, so you can take the next one. So just keep that in mind in addition. So gargantuan wild shape. Was there anything else? Probably colossal wild shape. Yep, colossal wild shape. So I need to flip back to the C's. Colossal wild shape. You can wild shape into animals of colossal size. The prerequisite is the ability to wild shape into gargantuan creatures, which is the feat we just went over. Benefit, you can use your wild shape to take the shape of a colossal animal. Normal, without this feat, you cannot wild shape into an animal of greater than huge size. Okay, and then we're on to greater charisma. All the ability feats, the greater ability feats, follow this. So even though I'll be going over the rest of them in the next video, this one should set up how they work. Your powers of persuasion and leadership are greater than normal. Benefit, your charisma increases by 1 point. Special, you can take this feat multiple times. Its effects stack, and that's a permanent increase to your charisma. So each time you take the greater charisma, your charisma goes up 1 point. So each time you take the greater constitution feat, constitution goes up 1 point. So you see how that works. And that would end our 15 feats for this video. If any of them interested you or you liked the video, let me know in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.